dann ganz Qualität. Oh, yeah!
So let's welcome them without further ado.
Yeah. Hello there. We're the team, as we just got introduced, behind the Not Just Another Guide to Cologne. And yeah, we're really excited to be here. So many people, that's great, like rainy and in the morning. I'm Raoul, I'm from Germany.
I'm Jackie from Brazil.
I'm Yuki from Japan.
Yeah, and when we first sat down and talked with Nadine about this topic here, and then we want to talk about our guide, and we decided on the topic broken, we were a bit scared actually in the beginning, because especially when you think in Germany about something broken, it's usually nothing too good. Okay, so there's a problem, it needs fixing, and you don't really know if it can be fixed, and the outcome is unsure. But then we sat down and actually started preparing this talk, and we somehow realized that in one way or the other, all of our chapters of the story are in a way connected to this topic of broken. And this was something really interesting to realize in the beginning already, because it meant for us that something broken might also turn to something nice in the end.
Yeah, so our team first came together to do a self-initiated project at KIST, that is the Cologne International School of Design. And the self-initiated project is something that you have to do to graduate as part of the curriculum, and we really needed those credit points. From the beginning, we wanted to do something helpful, practical, and also beautiful. We were really open to what the outcome could be. And we were just basically looking around for problems in our university. And just like our team, the studies in KIST are very international. And this got us the idea of focusing our project into international students. And after talking to many friends and colleagues, we realized that if you're an international student here in Cologne, you get here in a bit of a problematic situation. Because as soon as you get here, you have no idea how is life in this new city. You have no idea what to do when you're not studying. It's a different scenario for many different backgrounds. And you would think that there is information already given to students by the universities, but actually the material was only really about bureaucracy, and it was really not interesting enough to get the attention of students. And the really good material was in German only.
Well, and it looked also a bit boring, I think.
Yeah.
Black and white almost.
So studying in this international setting at KIST made us aware of the situation, and then we found ourselves a topic for our self-initiated project.
Yeah, and we thought let's do something about that. We wanted to make a change. And we all have different backgrounds in design and experience, also culturally. And each of us brought parts to the table in discussion and ideation. We ended up with the idea making a guide about Cologne for international students, and something physical and printed that you can use in the city without battery, so not like a smartphone or other gadgets. That would be colorful and fun. And at this time, papercraft was already quite a big trend in design, and it seemed to be perfect for our project. So we thought to get rid of all these cheesy photographs in the common city guides and brochures. Instead, we wanted to illustrate everything with paper crafts, like photos of paper crafts, in abstract and free way. But at the time, to be honest, besides Jackie, we had no idea how to make a paper craft model. Maybe origami in my childhood And no one of us had done a project in such a scale before. At this point, we also didn't think about how much work it's going to be. But really, we wanted to make something original and special that was important for us. And as we started, our dream was to give the guides to the incoming students, so print about 50 or 100 guides. But at this point, we didn't know if it would work out.
Yeah. So first of all, we started reflecting about what kind of topics are international students concerned as soon as they move to Cologne. We chose chapters from a topic range that was from nightlife, local culture, to things like emergency information and some bureaucracy tips. But we really wanted to include things that no other guide had, or from a really different perspective. And it was really important for us. It was how and where to get all this information from, because we did not want to put only our direct ideas or recommendation, or to get this information from the internet. But we really wanted to hear what other people, locals, friends, and former exchange students had to say about Cologne. At the same time, we were starting to build up our little papercraft studio in Kist, sweating during a whole summer inside that room.
Yeah. I mean, you can see the fan working there, like lots in the background, like just like lots of work, and it was really funny because it was really hot and we were sweating, as you said, and we wanted to get like air in our faces everywhere. And then we were building this really tiny intrinsic paper models and parts laying on everywhere, and we were like figuring out where to put this fan like the whole day. It took us an hour every time because every time there was air coming, everything was ruined, and. So in the end, I think we only got a bit of air in our faces.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it, basically.
Yeah, so it was a real trial and error process because we did not want to use any 3D software to produce the cuts or plan or models, and everything had to be handmade and cut. And it was a really stupid idea. For example, instead of buying a pre-made disco ball, we thought, why don't we make it ourselves out of metallic paper? It's gonna be so much fun. So we started basically from zero, gathering inspirations from blogs and Pinterest. We even Googled how to do papercraft, thinking that this would help us. It didn't. But luckily we had a local shop sponsoring us with material and paper, and this way we didn't, starved ourselves with our student budget. And we really had everything planned, but then this happened. Some of you already saw it.
Maybe.
The dome is on the wrong side of the Rhine. It was a layout decision, okay? We just wanted to put the big element on the right side of the cover, and because of the composition, by coincidence, the Rhine was also looking much better in the center. So we thought, no big deal, who's gonna notice?
Cologne people are really relaxed, They're gonna take it with some humor.
Yeah. You have no idea how many people came crushed to us, saying like, you did a mistake on the cover.
Like we were like, oh my god, did we misspell something? Or,
but it was about the dome.
Cologne people and the dome.
Don't move it, Leave it where it is,
And some were really angry. Like seriously. We were like, so when we finished, almost finished, we got also in contact with the international office of TH, which is not the same as the KIST one. And we suggested to have the guides printed for them so they can give them to the international students of them too. And luckily they loved our project, and suddenly we were not only printing 100 guides in a copy shop, but 1,000 copies in a proper printing house. And this was decided within a few weeks. So it was a very nerve-wracking time. But somehow we managed to get everything done and delivered in time. That meant that every incoming student from like international students coming to TH received one of our guides. And as you can see in these pictures, we presented our project at the welcome day for internationals at KIST.
For some reason, then happened that we got handed a letter from one of our professors, and it was a nomination for the German Design Award 2016 for Excellent Communication Design. We don't know until today how did that happen or who we have to thank for that, but it happened, and there we were, very fancy in the red carpet. We did not win, by the way, but it was a really good recognition of our project and all the work that we put on it. And looking back, we really did not expect for something like this to happen, so it was a really nice surprise. And also around the same time, some blogs and magazines like Novum and Page wrote articles about our project, and it just kind of took off. And suddenly we were receiving lots of feedback and emails and people asking about where to buy the guide and whether it was for sale or yeah. And it was really great to realize out of nowhere that the Cologne guide was not only good for international students that were coming here to stay for a semester, but actually for other travelers as well that were looking for something different, or even locals that wanted to have a fresh look on their own city.
Yeah, on the left you can see the first one that we did 2014. Now it actually looks quite small and tiny, like really thin. Yeah, and on the right you see the new edition that we printed this year.
We fixed it all.
We fixed it all. So, made like a good solution there, and yeah, I think now it's around 2,000 copies. So we figured out to double them, and for the new release we also redesigned the guide for the most part, because there was a lot of feedback coming in from people who used it actually. So we're really keen on talking to people or doing surveys and finding out how people use the guide actually, because it can look nice and pretty and everything, but if it's not usable in the end, it's no use. Nothing good comes out of it, And it was very nice to see and hear from students, from internationals, what they found great about it and what they didn't find so great about it, what worked out, what not. And we really took in this feedback to improve it for the new edition. For example, now the guide is you can see it's way thicker, it has more info inside, but also we previously in the first edition mostly concentrated with tips around KIST and Südstadt and TH, so it was like a big map and then there was lots of tips down there, not so many up there anymore. And so we want to include more quarters of Cologne obviously, because there's great stuff happening everywhere. And we also introduced a new chapter for the guide about housing in Cologne, and I guess everyone that lives here or lived here knows the struggle in Cologne to find an apartment. And for international students, this is even harder. They don't speak German and they don't know really where to go and so on. So many people are really happy about that now. And and even though we wanted to make the guide available for more people and also sell it now for the second edition, one of our priorities was always to still make it available for free for the international students. So we didn't just want to say, now we're going to sell it and no one else gets it for free. We are really happy now this year also that besides the KIST and TH, the University of Cologne also came on board, and they were really excited about it, and they now also hand out the guide for their international students. So this is really great, because now every international student, almost every, in Cologne gets this guide for free when they come to Cologne, and we really hope to improve the situation and really help people with this. And when we started thinking about a concept of how to make this available for sale, for example, we also thought, this has lots of potential for some other products or things, because I mean, if you go into a tourist shop here in Cologne, you mainly find the same like cheesy stuff. You know, it's like you don't really find much else. And we thought, okay, there's an opportunity there. So, for example, we did some colorful paper model sceneries that we now have as postcards or prints in our shop, and so we want to offer more of a range of products as well. And yeah, I think like if we think about 2 years ago, this project started, and it's really like I've come a long way, and really happy where it went now, and couldn't even imagine back then that we would sit here, you know, now. And to give you maybe a better look behind the process of what we did for the new second edition, we made a short video for you as well. And I think in the end we realized that you actually don't have to be afraid of situations like we faced when we started this project, of this problematic situation for international students, for example. It was a big problem back then, and because it can actually be more of an opportunity in the end, and there's always a chance also to improve on those situations and make something really nice out of it. And we did like our first edition, and many people were very skeptical about it as well, because it looked very different. It had all this like colorful paper model illustrations, no photos. People were like, oh my god, there's no photos in the city guide. And you know, like, how can you do that? You know, like, what do the places look like? And we don't know. Yeah, I mean, breaking the rules in this way, what a city guide should look like or feel like, or maybe how you use it, on what side of the Rhine the dome should be, stuff like that, you know, like, it really got people talking about the project. Like as you said, many people came to us, were like, you know, have you seen this? You know, we heard some people in the hallways of KISS like, have you seen this? They put the dome on the wrong side of the dome. You know, like, and it was actually in the end turning out to be something really nice. People talked about it, and it was creating this interest also in the guide and in the project, and this turned out to be something good. You know, we were like, oh my god, we have like 1,000 copies now printed, and this, like, yeah. But okay, and in the end, that left us with something that we hope is something unique, and now also we found many people who love the project, and this is really nice. And yeah, so what you can maybe take from this as an advice or idea from us is that I think especially as a creative, you should not be afraid to break the rules. And there's many situations where you have ideas, and you have to trust in yourself, even though they're controversial at the time maybe, and you don't have many people backing you up. But this is when something new is created, and with this, you never know really where this can also bring you one day. You know, so we're here now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and yeah, I think you have a question or not? Yes. Yeah, Michael.
seems like you're self-publishing that guide, right?
Yeah.
Isn't there some publisher who's interested, like Dumont or somebody from Cologne even?
It's a long story, right? I mean,
It's like this. To self-publish, sometimes you get you have lots of problem with the publisher, and you can't really make it so independent as we want it to be, because in the end it ends up being something really commercial, and it goes through more layers of people and organizations, and it's not something so
Free.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we really thought about it, and we did not get specifically in contact with Dumont, for example, or something, because we already decided at this point that, okay, we want to self-publish this. We don't want to have it in every store, and we don't want to kind of give it out and make it like a publishment of some company. We want to select where we are and how we produce it and so on. And so it's really like a really conscious decision to not go to a publisher with this. Yeah.
More questions? Yes.
As paper designer, I need to ask, do you like paper design now?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Love
yeah.
it.
I mean, although all the struggle and the long days and all the months that we like spent on building paper,
I dreamed about paper.
paper dreams, but not the good ones.
Yeah.
How many times you cut in your fingers?
Only once.
Only one.
Actually,
At
yeah.
the shop when I was getting cardboard.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's all.
That's all.
We
Yeah.
were very responsible and very careful.
No big injuries.
So
Yeah.
no blood in the book.
No blood.
Okay.
Yeah.
More questions? Yeah, Manuela?
That's a question. So you all have very different backgrounds, right? So Raoul, you're a photographer, and you're an illustrator, Jackie, and I forget your background, Yuki?
Designer.
Designer.
No, we are all designers.
It's true, all designers have different focuses from what I understand. So how did you work together with that, and can you speak a little bit to your roles and just how, like, having a different background for the same project?
Well, we are all designer. We studied at the same university, so we have as a background the same background. It's integrated design, and well, we have strengths, and so how do you say, in every actually landscape paper craft, we actually made bits
Yeah.
each,
Like
and
we said together.
yeah.
We first had to really think about what we wanted to do. There was lots of sketching and lots of brainstorming what would be in each scene, because each scene should be different and have something special about it. And then whenever we knew what it was going to be there, we would just divide. And if someone was not good in folding, another person would do the folding, and so on. I think it was a lot of whatever we had, we were doing it without
Kind of
thinking too much.
spontaneous.
Yeah.
We would come together and like besides the concept in the beginning, we would just come together on a day in the room and then like, okay, what do we have to do today?
Yeah.
And then, okay, we have to do this. Do you want to do this? Okay, I'll do this.
Yeah.
And then maybe someone starts and like, oh, I'm not really good. Can you do? And then,
Yeah,
okay,
can you
we switch,
continue?
you know? And then, so,
Do
yeah.
you have fixed dates where you meet to prepare
Every day.
Yeah, every day.
During the summer vacation
Okay.
at
Yeah.
KIST. So
From
we
9
had
to
this-
7.
So you had a deadline by yourself, so you said until then we want to be finished with everything, and
Because
Or
the-
that
Because
one
when
was
there's
the
no
welcome
deadline,
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the new incoming international students, before they come, we should
I mean,
get it printed.
It was in the beginning we thought, okay, no problem, we print this in one day because we just go across the street to the copy shop and we hand them the files and they're gonna print some, And then all of a sudden we had to prepare extra files for a printer and so on, and so our timeline was a bit broken. And we had to really push in lots of extra hours in the end because we did not really plan with this, And,
But it was fun.
but yeah,
Yeah.
but designer needs a deadline.
exactly. Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
more questions? Yeah.
How's the project funded?
Well, when we started, we were students, we had no money, so we reached out for a really good paper shop in Cologne, Tube paper shop,
Tube
and they sponsored us with all the material. So basically, we gave the hours for free because it was for our project, and the materials we got sponsored by them. And this is how it started. And of course, now that it's on the second edition, we also are selling a few guides to make sure that we still continue having funds to continue doing it. But yeah.
Are the universities also pitching in?
Yeah, I mean they're basically paying for their
Their share.
their share, because we could not finance like for the universities
Right.
all those copies, of course. So yes.
Questions? Yeah.
Do you feel like this analog work did something in particular with you as a designer, or like instead of working digitally, or just how was your feeling about that?
It was different than
Yeah.
like common design works like in Illustrator or InDesign or Photoshop. It was a different time. Like every day we came together and pulled out the paper and scissors and
I have a background in product design, and one of our professors, he used to always make us do the models by hand with not using any software. And I hated that when I first started university, and I was thinking, when I will ever use this?
Now you know.
Yeah.
I also think like just having to handle with material, and you think in the beginning, okay, that's paper, okay, and then you have colored paper and you have cardboard, and that's about it, okay, like so we're going to use paper and cardboard. Then you go to the shop and you see, okay, there's different kinds of paper, of course, like, and they fold differently because even though maybe something about printing that doesn't have anything to do with this. So we bought paper, and then sometimes we realized you cannot build this with this paper.
Yeah.
So you have to go back and get the other material, and where to put glue and this kind of thing.
What types of glue?
Exactly.
It's a very it takes a lot of patience and
trial and error.
Yeah.
And you don't find this on Google, okay? So like if you type in how to build a paper craft, no one tells you, like do this like that. So I think this really changed the way we handle materials, at least for me, and definitely, and to think about dimensions more and so on, because you do sketches and then.
And also you cannot be so let's say you can't delete a line that you did, okay? So you have to be really, really careful, because as soon as you do it, if you did it in the wrong dimension, you either have to start over or you have to just keep it, So,
like freestyle.
Do you feel like it changed the kind of flow experience that you have in comparison to working at a computer?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's I think working in a computer you can still do like overnight, but working with paper, it's something that you need to have lots of light and be really awake to do it.
And more time.
Yeah.
Like you think you need 1 day, and then in the end it's a week. So, like I think even in the end we had days where we were like, okay, today we just have to finish this, this, and this, and that. Maybe we finish even this, and then we got one thing finished. And, so
Yeah.
yeah.
There's no rushing.
Yeah.
So since you guys didn't find any information about how to do papercraft, maybe you can start a blog and explain everything. That would be nice.
Sure. I wish I had more time. But yeah, it's maybe in the future we think about some papercraft courses or something like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be nice to actually teach people in person, like in a place to do it, because there's so many things you can like write maybe a page about, and then you just in the end have to do it, and if you haven't done it, and it doesn't matter. And I mean, yeah, I think this is a nice idea. We also had this thought, and who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to learn it, please ask us.
We can prepare something.
We can do it together.
Yeah. So I think thank you so much